What is the state of the United Methodist Church? In the U.S., we are experiencing a crisis of confidence. We hear of the death tsunami, declining membership, declining worship attendance, and financial slippage. In Asia, Africa, and South America, the church continues to grow, and we rejoice that our brothers and sisters across the world are thriving. I believe that while, as Gil Rendell says, and DJ noted, we may be in the wilderness, but we are also led by the cloud of fire and the cloud of the Holy Spirit through the wilderness to God's promised land. God, through the psalmist, says, I will not leave your soul in the pit. In 2010, we heard the call to action from our Council of Bishops. We in the GBHEM responded to the bishops' call to action by commissioning and implementing an organizational audit with 60 plus action items. We heard the bishops' call to action and we acted. These actions were taken before the 2012 General Conference. We responded to the adaptive challenge. 9 of our previous board members are returning this quadrennium. Would you raise your hands? Our GBHEM Legislative Committee wrote the legislation that recommended that our board be reduced from 64 to 22. If the call to action was meant to inspire action and adaptive leadership, it succeeded in the GBHEM. As you know, the General Conference assigns us our work. In paragraph 1405 of the Book of Discipline, the General Conference assigns GBHEM 32 mandates. We decided to include these in your folders. They are in our handbook on page 7. The 32 mandates GBHEM receives from the General Conference. These are shalls. We understand our work contributes to the adaptive challenge of increasing and sustaining the number of vital congregations by fostering vital leaders. The new emphasis we received from General Conference was clear. The church expects us to cultivate a new generation of young United Methodist clergy. We are called to reform the clergy system by making the recruitment of gifted young people to full-time ministry a priority and devote resources to helping them complete their theological education. GBHEM was almost prescient in foreseeing this need. In 2005, GBHEM created a young seminarian scholarship of $2.25 million from reserve funds. We are called to work with seminaries to train for the skills and practices most needed to energize existing churches and start new ones, and to encourage the deployment of clergy to mission fields for which they have affinity. We are called to help bishops and cabinets more promptly exit low-performing clergy from the system. The General Conference created a $7 million fund to support the Young Clergy Initiative and a $5 million fund to create the Central Conference Theological Education Fund.